An archaeological discovery has just been made in Abu Dhabi, and it sheds light on Christianity in the region in a time period that you might not expect. It also has some implications on Christian evangelization and interreligious dialogue in society. And so there's going to be a lot of implications that some scholars are drawing and going to draw from this, already drawing. We're going to take a look at it here in just a moment, but I want to remind you, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you appreciate this kind of content. I'll first show you a quick video, maybe a 4-minute video. I'm going to speed it up a little bit so I don't get any copyright strike or anything like that, so it's going to play a little bit faster than normal. But I'm going to show you this video showing you the archaeological discovery and what exactly they found, how they found it, and some of the implications of it. And then we're going to take a look at a really interesting article on the discovery. All this is brand new, so you may not have heard of it yet, but you will likely be hearing of this a little bit more in the future because of the implications in association with it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and please let me know if there's any difficulties in hearing the audio there in the chat. You should be able to see right around now my screen. Let me go ahead and maybe maximize the screen here, and let's dive in. Again, let me know if there's any difficulties hearing it. Let's see what they got.
Holy moly. Wow. On the sun-scorched sands of Sir Bani Yas Island, a remarkable discovery has been made. Here, about 170 kilometers southwest of Abu Dhabi, archaeologists have unearthed an ancient Christian cross that may have been hidden for centuries beneath the earth.
We saw this flat object lying here made of plaster. Now, as you see, there is a plaster lining on this wall, so finding pieces of plaster is not unusual. But this particular one, and again, I will show you, had these finger marks running all over it. It was about this size with these finger marks. And we thought that looks really cool. You know, we can see the traces of someone actually working on this piece of plaster, smoothing it out. And then we wanted to lift it up. And as we lift it up, we turn it over, we see a cross.
It's a pretty cool cross. I mean, you can see it there at the beginning, and of course, also have it in the thumbnail there.
How do you feel?
Incredible.
Found during this year's excavation season, the plaster cross is believed to be about 1,400 years old, dating back to a time when Christianity quietly flourished in the Gulf.
Wow, so 1,400 years. So Christianity was present in the Arabian Gulf here, particularly Abu Dhabi, 1,400 years ago. Of course, this is contemporary with Islam, and so they're going to point out some of those implications here in the article that we're going to read.
Delicately preserved, the cross was probably mounted on a wall as a focus for prayer. It features Middle Eastern design motifs, hinting at a unique fusion of regional and religious culture.
And the shape with the indents here at the ends, that's very typical. Likewise, these dots, which symbolize the blood of Christ, most likely, and you will see there are miniature crosses set within them. Now, this is the first time that evidence of Christianity, firm evidence of Christianity, has been found in the dispersed monastery as opposed to the church itself. So it's a really exciting find.
So evidently this was a monastery that they're uncovering here.
As a youth Emirati archaeologist, I feel so proud, and my feelings are mixed of pride and responsibilities because I feel pride that I'm uncovering a new history about my country and the responsibility of passing this history to the future generation.
Now, this season's dig focused on courtyard structures north of the church site, and it's the first time that Christian artifacts have been found outside the church complex itself.
So evidently there's a nearby, adjacent to this location, a church, and then close to that is this monastery.
Pottery, glass, and other fragments have also been recovered. Scientific testing is underway, with more excavations planned to uncover the site's deeper story.
But because as we're excavating, we chipped a piece off, you can see this clean break here. That gives us even the color of the glass, so it's a sort of sea green glass, very thin. And it's very typical of this site as well. So normally on archaeological sites, you mostly find pottery. Glass is quite rare. Here, actually, we find more glass than pottery, and it's all very simple glass, but it's quite a lot of it.
Now, some believe these buildings may have housed senior members of the Christian community, or even perhaps served as a retreat for wealthy believers seeking solitude. As more layers are revealed, Sir Bani Yas Island continues to reshape our understanding of early Christianity in the region, one discovery at a time.
And the significance of the site is really that it points to how rich and varied the history of the Abu Dhabi Emirate has been. We have a huge variety of archaeological sites, and this one here in particular points to the religious diversity of the country, and it shows that we had settlements of Christians which were not just existing but were clearly flourishing.
So from this, they're concluding that Christianity was flourishing even after the advent of Islam on the Arabian Peninsula. And we're actually going to see a little bit more about that here in this article that I was able to find that gives us a little bit more information. Let's take a look at it. It's from ancientorigins.net. Christian cross shows ancient religious diversity on the Arabian Peninsula. It says archaeologists have unearthed a remarkable 1,400-year-old Christian cross on Abu Dhabi's Sir Bani Yas Island, adding that our understanding of Christianity's eastward expansion in the Arabian Peninsula. So it's adding to that understanding. Of course, we actually knew a little bit about this. You know, what's often called the Nestorian Church. Really, now it's called the ancient or the Assyrian Church of the East, and there's an offshoot of that ancient Church of the East. We know that it expanded more towards the east and made its way all the way even to not just India but also China. So it says the intricately crafted stucco plaque discovered during the first major excavation in over 3 decades provides unprecedented evidence of a thriving Christian community that flourished during the 7th and 8th centuries, so the 600s and 700s. And so this is right at the time and after the time of the beginning of Islam taking place on the Arabian Peninsula. So we see Christians were there contemporary to the advent of Islam on the Arabian Peninsula. This extraordinary find challenges previous assumptions about the extent of early Christian settlements and reveals the sophisticated religious diversity that characterized the pre-Islamic Arabian Gulf region. And so it has some implications on how far did Christianity really spread in the East around this time period. So you can see a few additional photos there. It's an unprecedented archaeological discovery. The cross that we just saw there in the thumbnail and in the video, measuring 27 centimeters long and 17 centimeters wide and approximately 2 centimeters thick, was discovered by teams from Abu Dhabi's Department of Culture and Tourism during excavations that restarted in January of this year, 2025. The artifact was found among courtyard houses north of the main monastery complex, where senior monks are believed to have lived in the contemplative state. It represents the largest and most detailed cross found at the site, surpassing a smaller cross uncovered in the 1990s that first identified the location as a Christian settlement. So they already kind of knew of a church nearby where they uncovered a cross, but here they were able to find one at this monastic monastery. And so it's really, really cool. It says lead archaeologist Maria, and I don't even know how to pronounce her last name. I'm going to butcher it. Gajuska described the find as extremely exciting and emphasized its significance as a clear cultural marker. So much of what we do is interpretation, and sometimes bordering on guesswork, frankly. And this was just lying there, telling us, yes, they were Christian, she explained. The artifact incorporates distinctive regional motifs, including a stepped pyramid representing Golgotha, where Christians believe Jesus was crucified, and leaves sprouting from its base, elements that demonstrate local adaptations of Christian symbolism. And it seems like I've actually seen in some of your ancient Church of the East crucifixes, styles that look like this one that they discovered. It looks like there's a lot of similarities. Here you can see it again, and look at the little pyramid step. I've actually seen that in also some Eastern Orthodox iconography. So this one is really fascinating. I wonder if they had that at the front where the altar is, or if this was just on the side, kind of like today you might have some icons all on the side of the sanctuary. I wonder if it was there front and center, kind of as the main focal point, or if it was off to the side. Okay, so it says evidence of religious coexistence. The discovery provides compelling evidence of the peaceful coexistence between Christianity and emerging Islamic communities in the region. Emirati archaeologist Menhali, who made the initial discovery, noted a distinct fingerprint on the back of the plaque, likely left by the craftsperson who created this sacred object centuries ago. That's pretty wild to have a thumbprint on it. The plaster was resting face down, and something about it caught my attention, she explained, describing the moment of discovery that would prove historically significant. The Christian community belonged to the Church of the East, and so again, this is the what's today called the Assyrian Church of the East, but historically, and maybe pejoratively, has been called the Nestorian Church. Usually that's contested among people in this community because they would say that they don't believe in Nestorianism. You know, the heresy that was condemned by the Third Ecumenical Council, the Council of Ephesus. They would say, look, we reject that heresy. And there's a whole debate on was Nestorius a Nestorian. So, you know, just kind of a background there. This is the community that they're referring to that did break off from the Catholic and also the Eastern Orthodox Church, what's later called the Chalcedonian Church, those who accepted the Fourth Ecumenical Council, Chalcedon. This community broke off at the end of the Third Ecumenical Council. And in fact, I have a very in-depth, detailed video about the Council of Ephesus, that Third Ecumenical Council where this community broke off, as well as the Fourth Ecumenical Council. And I have them right here on this channel available for free. You can go and watch them. I also have a more extended version in the lectures that I offer on all 7 ecumenical councils at rtcourses.com. But if you want some of the free content, it's right here on this channel. Just type in Council of Ephesus. It should come right up. Okay, so that's the community that it appears this belonged to. It says a branch that stretched from the Middle East to China. Like I said, they reached all the way over there, demonstrating the extensive reach of early Christian networks. Archaeological evidence suggests that Christianity and Islam coexisted peacefully in the region, with both communities engaging in trade and communication. And my question then was, okay, well, what happened to this community? You know, if there was peaceful coexistence, what exactly happened? They were saying this community was abandoned in the 8th century. And I don't know why. I don't know what the reason is. So that would be in the 8th century, that would be the 700s. At some point in the 700s, it was abandoned. The buildings appear unusually clean, with little sign of collapse or rubble, indicating that residents may have left intentionally rather than being forced out by disaster or conflict. But my question is why? You know, what happened? Where were they going? What were they doing? Why were they intentionally leaving? Sir Bani Yas Island forms part of a broader network of contemporaneous Christian sites across the Arabian Gulf, challenging our understanding of the region's religious landscape during the early Islamic period. Similar monasteries have been discovered in Kuwait, Iran, and Saudi Arabia, while another monastery was recently uncovered in Siniya Island in al-Quwain in 2022. Carbon dating of samples from these sites indicates Christian presence between 534 and 656, demonstrating that Christianity was not merely surviving, but actively flourishing in the region. And so I guess this discovery, in conjunction with the other ones that they just mentioned here, is what lends them to the conclusion that it wasn't just survival in existence, but a flourishing of Christian communities on the Arabian Peninsula. The excavations have also uncovered pottery, glass artifacts, and a distinctive sea green bottle that may have contained oil or rose water for religious ceremonies. That's interesting. I wonder if that was maybe chrismation oil, you know. that would be used at the time of baptism, because of course in the Eastern tradition, you not only baptize the infant, but you also confirm them and you give them the Eucharist all at the same time, at the same day as an infant. And so the chrismation oil would be used at the time. I wonder if that was what it was for. These findings suggest a comfortable existence for the monastic community with well-built structures featuring thick limestone and coral walls designed to combat the heat, along with a sophisticated cistern system for water storage. The evidence points to senior monks living in relative comfort while maintaining their spiritual practices, contradicting assumptions about purely hermitic lifestyles. So it looks like the monks here had some kind of combination between a community rule and living in isolation as hermits. And I mean, that's not entirely unusual. I think of one Coptic Orthodox monk that lives where St. Anthony of the Desert used to live. I think his name is Father Lazarus. And you can look him up on Google. So he lives as a monk, as a hermit, in the very place where Anthony of the Desert lived. But he occasionally goes back to the community that's located nearby and participates in their community rule to a limited extent. So it's kind of like a mix between being a hermit and living in a community rule, just from what I gather. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. Certainly not unheard of, though. Okay, so Mohammed Khalifa Al Mubarak, chairman of Abu Dhabi's Department of Culture and Tourism, emphasized the discovery's significance for understanding the United Arab Emirates' historical commitment to religious tolerance. The discovery of this ancient Christian cross on Sir Bani Yas Island is a powerful treatment to the UAE's profound and enduring values of coexistence and cultural openness, he states. It reminds us that peaceful coexistence is not a modern construct, but a principle woven into the very fabric of our region's history. Future research plans include a radiocarbon dating analysis and expanded excavations of the courtyard buildings, which may eventually be incorporated into a broader visitor trail. The site, which received protective shelters and visitor facilities in 2019, already features a small exhibition displaying glass chalices. Oh, that's interesting. Crosses and a scorpion stamped seal from previous excavations. That's wild. Glass chalices. It's not the first time I've come across the idea of using glass as the chalice during the Eucharistic liturgy. We've seen that before. It seems like at some point in the Catholic Church, a pope, I forget who, forbade the use of glass material for the chalice, but I know it was used at some point in different communities. Looks like they were using that. These ongoing discoveries continue to reveal the sophisticated religious, economic, and social networks that connected the Arabian Peninsula to the broader Christian world during the crucial transitional period of the 7th and 8th century. So it's relatively new. There's not a lot more information about it that I was able to discover, but this is what I was able to find, and I wanted to bring it to your attention because I thought it was pretty cool, and hopefully we'll hear a little bit more about it. Storyteller is jokingly saying in the chat, it was Pope Antiglasis. Yeah, that was the Pope. It almost sounds like a papal name, Antiglasis, Galasius, and there are popes with anti in the name, so it kind of sounds authentic, Anyways, I love it. Hey, I hope y'all enjoyed this. And if you want to see more archaeological videos, just let me know. I want to hear your feedback. Put it in the comment section. And I'd be more than happy to do some more. I got a playlist of reason in archaeology already with a number of instances we've looked at so far. But if you want to see more, I need to hear feedback from you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and drop a comment in the comment section below. See you later. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. And for a deeper dive, check out my courses at rtcourses.com and my Patreon channel at patreon.com/reason in theology.